MMA pros are shocked after watching Islam Makhachev look huge and strong ahead of his upcoming clash with Jack Della Maddalena. On the other hand, Robert Whittaker said he is picking Jack because he believes Jack has the grit, determination, and toughness to fight off Islam Makhachev's takedown attempts. He feels that in a straight striking match, Jack is the better fighter and has the edge with his hands. Whittaker added that he does not expect Islam to be as aggressive with takedowns as many believe, since Jack is dangerous off his back and has nothing to lose, while Islam is everything on the line. He also noted that Jack is the hottest prospect at the moment.
I'm going to go Jack. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hand. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back. Jack has nothing to lose. And I think Islam's got everything. He's the hottest prospect right now in MMA.
Colby Covington said the fight is interesting, and he's excited to see how it plays out. He mentioned that Islam Makhachev, being a lightweight, will be a bit smaller, but is a well-rounded fighter who could win if he manages to take down and control JDM. However, he noted that the size advantage might play a role. Covington pointed out that the odds heavily favor Makhachev at 3-1, mainly because JDM lacks strong takedown defense. But he also acknowledged that anything can happen in a fight since JDM is good striking, making it an exciting matchup for the fans.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
However, Islam Makhachev looks bigger and stronger than ever in training camp for Jack Della Maddalena, showing improved size, power, and conditioning that could give him a major edge in grappling and control during the fight. Usman Nurmagomedov said that Islam Makhachev will take Jack Della Maddalena down, tire him out, and control him on the ground, aiming to finish him but ready to win by decision if needed. He mentioned that everyone knows their game plan, yet no one can stop it, and expressed excitement about the possibility of having a two-time champion in their gym, something they have not had before.
How do you think Islam does against JDM?
You're gonna take him down, make him tired, hold him there, and after that, if you can finish him, if you can, by decision, you have to win. All people know what we're gonna do, but they can do nothing with that. And we're so excited for him because of two-time champion. In our gym, we don't have this guy, but Islam gonna be, inshallah.
Michael Bisping said that Jack Della Maddalena is the bigger fighter and has already shown he can defend takedowns effectively. He acknowledged Islam Makhachev's improved striking, noting his success against Dustin Poirier, but credited that to the constant threat of the takedown. Bisping praised Jack's clean boxing and footwork, saying it helps him avoid takedowns and stay off the fence, as seen in his fight with Belal Muhammad. He highlighted that while Leon Edwards struggled to stop Muhammad's takedowns, Jack had no issue. Despite Makhachev being the betting favorite, Bisping said an upset would not surprise him and that Jack could remain champion.
Della Maddalena is bigger. He showed that he can stop takedowns. On the feet, there's absolutely no question. Islam has improved with his striking, that's for sure. You can't deny that. Did pretty good on the feet against Dustin Poirier at times. However, that was probably because of the threat of the takedown. But Jack Della Maddalena is on another level. He's probably got the best, cleanest boxing in the UFC. And the footwork that he gets from the boxing is so useful to avoid the takedowns and to stay off the fence. That was crucial against Belal Muhammad, and even when he was pushed up against the fence, he was able to stop the takedowns. Remember, Leon Edwards was able to stop all the takedowns from Kamaru Usman. He couldn't stop the takedowns from Belal Muhammad, and Jack Della Maddalena had no issue whatsoever. So it's crazy because right now they have, I think, Jack Della Maddalena, I was going to look at the odds, it's gone off. According to DraftKings Sportsbook right now, Islam Makhachev is a pretty sizable favourite. So if you want to put some money on that right now, that might not be a bad idea, because it wouldn't surprise me if we see an upset here and Jack Della Maddalena is still the champion at the end of the day.
Jack Della Maddalena's coach said he believes Jack can knock out Islam Makhachev because his striking is that good, and Makhachev does not have the same chin as Belal Muhammad. He explained that if Jack lands clean, it could happen at any moment, whether in the first minute or late in the fight, and they will take the opportunity whenever it comes. He praised Jack's cardio, pointing out that he outlasted Belal, who is known for having some of the best cardio in the UFC, and said Jack's power and endurance make him confident about the matchup.
Yeah, I do. I just don't think Islam has the chin that Belal has.
You feel like it's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like third, fourth round? Or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute, it could happen in the 24th minute, it could happen in the 24-minute 59 seconds, it could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights, you know, he likes to be in there, but obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Belal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So you know, Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight, I really do.
Muhammad Makhachev discussed the possibility of a future showdown between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria, explaining that the fight would create far more hype if Islam were to secure the welterweight championship and Topuria were to capture the lightweight strap. He said that making the bout happen now would reduce its importance, but if both came in as reigning champions, the stakes and storyline would become far more significant.
Now, for example, Islam fights Ilia and he beats him. Example, people say he beat another 145er, but Islam wins the title now at welterweight, and then Ilia beats Oliveira. That's even bigger fights to create, right? So I don't think Islam needs to slow down his career. He go take even they strip his belt off. In my opinion, he will be double champion, because that's how it started. If Conor could, why Islam can't, you know? And I think it create bigger name for them if this way better, rather than Islam fight Topuria and the hype slows down, you know what I mean? I rather see Islam becomes the champion, Ilia Topuria becomes the champion, and they can fight at catchweight for the, I don't know, whatever they want, you know.
Stephen Thompson broke down some of the problems Islam Makhachev may face when competing at welterweight, noting that fighters in this division often walk around with far more natural weight. He pointed out that while Jack Della Maddalena is not dramatically taller, his strength could still make a difference. Thompson complimented Makhachev's wrestling ability, but reminded everyone that Jack has already handled strong grapplers like Belal Muhammad. He considered this matchup a very tough test for Islam and said he's eager to see it booked officially.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, you know, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I've faced would walk around at that weight. I mean, I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JDM might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Belal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Yoel Romero weighed in on the possible fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, calling it a very tough contest to predict. He pointed out that Jack, the new welterweight title holder, carries serious knockout power along with decent wrestling skills, making this a true 50-50 affair. Romero said Jack's defense against takedowns is not elite, which could give Islam an opening. But Jack's punching force and natural size at 170 pounds might give him an edge. He also mentioned that although many believe Islam looks physically bigger, Maddalena is actually quite large for his class, adding more intrigue to this matchup.
What about Islam Makhachev versus Della Maddalena, who is a new champion in welterweight division?
It's hard because Maddalena have a very good cardio, very good puncher. Yeah. It's not bad wrestling too. It's not bad wrestling. It's a 50-50.
50-50, but Jack has not that high takedown defense. You know.
But punches. He have a very hard punches.
And he will be more powerful than Islam, right? Or
that's exactly
because of the weight difference, right?
Yes.
Or Islam is too big for.
No. That guy Maddalena is big for 170. He's big.
Coach Javier Mendez commented that whether Jack turns out to be Islam's hardest opponent or not, Islam is eager and completely ready for the challenge. He praised Islam's commitment and noted that the move to 170 pounds fits with him well from a physical standpoint. Mendez predicted that fans will see Islam performing at his highest level.
You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. You know, I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, you know, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, you know, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So, you know, Islam is a whole different animal than Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, you know, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, you know, the weight is not super big for him either, so he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Geoff Neal spoke about the upcoming bout and admitted that he is not entirely sure who will win. He noted that many people talk about Islam's strength at lightweight and said he is curious to see how that strength translates to welterweight. Neal added that he hopes Jack has worked on improving his takedown defense and building up his own strength because he does not want to see a lightweight move up and take the 170-pound title. When asked for his slight lean, Neal sided with Jack, saying he wants him to keep the belt.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam strong, the strongest. Like, especially like when he's fighting 155, people like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class. So we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
You know, I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard, but I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt at 170.
Okay.
Ali Abdelaziz revealed that Islam Makhachev will officially compete for the welterweight championship later this year. He said that if Jack Della Maddalena is unable to defend, the belt will be vacated and Islam will face another opponent instead. According to Abdelaziz, the UFC has already approved this plan.
When will it happen, Islam and Jack?
Islam fighting for the title this year. The non-interim title. Jack Maddalena is the champion, but if Jack is not available, it will be someone else fighting Islam for the title. That's what the UFC told me. That's what Dana told me. That's what the hunters, everybody said. You know, and that was one of the stipulations. If Islam go up, Jack get injured, and I hope he's healthy, and he seemed like he's healthy, this title will be vacated, that Islam will fight for welterweight.
Henry Cejudo predicted that Islam would win and collect a second title, calling it the next logical step in his career. Kamaru Usman, on the other hand, backed Jack to hold onto his crown, praising his composure and saying he has the right tools to stay champion. Both said the event will likely happen in Abu Dhabi in October.
I think Islam Makhachev is going to beat him. I think he's going to become the 11th double champ in UFC history.
Islam tweeted, "Keep it shiny, keep it nice for me." JDM, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, yeah, come get it.
Keep my belt clean. Okay, so the talking has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's going to take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that. We're no longer going to get Ilya versus Islam Makhachev just now.
Philip Rowe picked Jack Della Maddalena to win, saying Jack's knockout ability and knack for standing back up will play a big part. He questioned whether Islam's frame is truly suitable for the heavier class and predicted Jack would secure a finish due to his constant pressure and toughness.
Philip, bro, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop at Islam.
Gilbert Burns said that moving to welterweight is a better fit for Islam because cutting down to lightweight has become more difficult over time. He praised Islam's skills but warned that Jack's training with fighters like Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones could make this matchup dangerous and very close.
Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think. Especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Ilia Topuria initially showed little interest in the fight, but later shared some advice, suggesting that Jack target Islam's body to slow his wrestling attempts. He praised Jack's striking and tactical mindset, saying that body work is one of the most effective ways to stop a grappler like Makhachev.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
I will try to be big, you know. It's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, you know. I try to lift more. We do some program and like slowly we bring 2 kg right now. But I don't want to be big by food, you know, eating and not training. I want to be with like muscles, you know. I want to training and bring some muscles.
Sean O'Malley described the fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena as an important one, although he said a clash with Ilia Topuria would generate even more attention. He praised Jack Della Maddalena's victory over Belal Muhammad, saying that result made this contest more appealing. O'Malley added that if Jack can block the takedowns and land clean shots, the fight could turn out to be highly competitive.
At Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Belal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt, who give him that?
Jack versus Islam, I think is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
He also said Islam's move to welterweight is exciting, adding that the size gap between them is not as big as some expect, and O'Malley believed that Islam's wide range of skills could make striking play a larger role than people think.
How do you think Islam does at welterweight?
Who knows? I heard he's not going to be any smaller than Jack come fight night. 55 to 70, that's a little bit different than 35 to 45, 45 to 55, but when your skill level's that high as Islam's is, it'll be interesting if he goes in there and tries to shoot on Jack. Jack stuffs him and gets in his face, but Islam's striking is so underrated. Islam could put the hands on Jack too.
Navajo Sterling strongly backed Jack Della Maddalena to defeat Islam Makhachev, pointing to Jack's reach, build, and sharp mid-range striking as major weapons. He said these factors would make it difficult for Islam to close the distance or complete his takedowns. Sterling added that Jack's physical strength could cancel out Islam's usual advantage in control and warned that a decisive loss could derail any future fight with Ilia Topuria.
You picked JDM to win. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. Do you think he's got what it takes to beat an Islam Makhachev in his first defense?
People are going to say it's
a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Shins him so bad. It's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone.
So you think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
He's a lot bigger, and like when you watch JDM, like you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. That's hard to like shoot in on. He's not going to be able to just abuse his size against him either. I think Islam's in for a rude awakening.
Charles Oliveira said that Jack is a calculated striker who breaks down his rivals step by step. He mentioned that the added weight could benefit Islam, but the result depends on whether Jack can keep the contest standing or if Islam manages to dominate on the mat.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora no luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Dustin Poirier said the fight will likely be decided in the opening rounds. He explained that if Islam secures an early takedown on Jack, he could set the pace and maintain control. However, if Jack manages to keep it on his feet, his accurate boxing and natural power could create serious trouble for Islam. Poirier also noted that even though Islam's striking may look unorthodox, it works because opponents are always worried about his wrestling threat.
Do you think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's going to get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. Well, for me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight's gonna go.
And that's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the matchup? Would love to hear your thoughts on this. So share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.